Alright, welcome to Positive Living with Lolo. I am Lolo, and today I have with me Lexxi, Lexus, or the homie.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about positive living. She is an artist, writer, photographer, videographer, creative director type of person. She does fashion as well. Right now, what do you have all going on?
Right now, I kind of took a break so I can get focused. It's December, and for most people, they call it the end of the year, but I ain't gonna go into all of that. But took a break to really figure out what it is that I want to do for next year, just focus. But I do know what I want to do is more on fashion and more with my painting. I started spray art maybe a couple months ago, and I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was good. I was like, wow, gotta look back to me. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen you do a jean jacket for J Guts.
Yeah.
Right?
That.
Have you done shoes?
Yeah, I should have brought some with me, but I've done shoes. The jacket I brought with me, I painted that. A little bit of everything.
That's super cool. I know I've seen you I know we go to a lot of local shows, especially when J Guts is performing and stuff. And I always see you doing photography too. How'd you get into that?
Initially, I took one class in college.
Okay.
I actually ended up in the wrong class, and I got switched to another one, but I really liked it. So a couple years later, after I quit college, spotted camera. I was like, I always want to learn how to do this. So.
Yeah. So you learned that and the videography. You've been teaching yourself?
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing because I've seen you've been doing the videos too. So I went to your YouTube channel yesterday and I saw on there that you have videos from you doing things for events for people. So I think it was was it Ebony J?
Ebony J, I've done one for, who else? Oh man. Done one for This Only Happens in Ohio, the fall edition.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Okay. That I've done one for Plwl. They're a fashion company here in Cincinnati too. Done a few.
Yeah, they put on live fashion shows.
All the time.
Yeah, I went to one back in July, and I was just blown away by the whole fashion show. Plwl wasn't. I feel like they hosted it, but they weren't the only brand.
Which one did you go to?
The one in July at the Columbia Plaza.
I didn't go to that one. I don't think.
Oh yeah, so there was multiple brands there. Live Local was there. There was a guy that does all suits, men's tailored suits.
Okay.
There was Callie Evans, who's a designer. She does women's silk and things like that. Oh, it was I was so impressed by just how the whole thing was put together. I mean, for our city, I've never seen anything like it.
One thing I like about them is they always think outside of the box.
Yes.
And then they don't just focus mainly on them. It's
Right.
kind of a collective of people that they know and things that they like too. That's what I like about them.
Yeah. I agree.
Show love.
It's amazing. I love that. Who runs Plwl?
James and what's the other guy's name?
Was it Ryan?
James and Ryan. Yeah.
Okay.
James and Ryan.
Okay, I think I follow Ryan, so that's how I knew. Okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
How did you get to be a photographer or videographer for those types of events?
Usually I just inbox somebody hey, I'm coming to your event. Do you mind if I do some photography video? Or I just bring my camera with me and I get a couple shots and just post it and tag them and hey, I like this. Okay, cool. Do you mind if I go to the next one? All right, cool. So stuff like that. I mean, a lot of people think it's hard to find events. Of course, some people do want to get paid for somebody to come in and do it, but if you find people that are upcoming and they really want to get their brand out there, I feel like that's an easier route. And you just got to create your own avenue.
Right. And you've definitely created your own,
Trying to.
which is really awesome.
Trying to.
That's really awesome. It's not easy, but
it's possible.
Worth it and possible and worth it. Yes, I agree. What is your main focus right now? You said fashion?
Fashion, definitely video and photography. But with that, it's kind of like I can merge all of it together because if I do the designs, I can also do the pictures.
Right.
So it's not like I have to outsource to ask somebody else to, which I don't mind asking somebody else. But for me to be a photographer, it's kind of hard to pay for the clothes to get done and then also pay somebody else to do it.
Right.
But just making it work.
Right.
Making it work.
I like that. So in your video on Instagram, you got, or on your YouTube channel, you've got ways to travel for cheap, which I liked that one. Especially like the travel with your friends and things like that. Go to places, the Airbnb, so you can cook instead of eating out every day.
That's not cheap.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
What made you want to do YouTube videos like that with like just things, just spitting off like random knowledge to people?
These are things that I noticed that a lot of people don't think about, especially like with traveling. Like I said in videos, like a lot of people think they have to take thousands of dollars or they have to spend a lot of money. It's like you don't have to.
Right.
It's nice if you want to, but if you want to just go and just experience, you can just get maybe a couple $100 and take a couple friends and split the costs and have fun.
Right.
Just have fun with it.
Right. What about the car talks? Where did those come from?
Well, at my house, it's pretty loud. So when I first started, I wanted to record at my house, but it's always somebody there and it's a lot going on there. So I'm like, well, I'll just sit in my car and just record real quick. So I did the first one. I was like, you know what? I can just do this in my car. I don't have to. I thought about buying or renting out a studio space, but I'm like, that's not cheap.
Right.
So I was just like, well, just gotta figure it out.
Right.
So, my car is free for me. So
Right.
I just went in there.
Right. That's, hey,
That's
what we're doing. We gotta make it work.
Figure it out.
I like that. Where do you want to go with like your YouTube channel and things like that?
I think with my YouTube channel,
Do you want to just keep like, are you gonna just keep putting up like car talks and things like that? Are you trying to like pretty much have everything on there? Are you trying to get an audience for art or positive living, or because you kind of have a little bit of everything in there? You kind of have just whatever.
Then I have vlogs. I think my YouTube is it's like my personality.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to do this one day, and it's wrong with that, and it's wrong with
Yeah.
that. So I thought about the typical YouTube page of somebody that might do like travel or positivity or being like a makeup artist, but I can't just pick one thing.
Right.
It's kind of hard, but maybe I might narrow it down one day, but for right now, I'm just kind of like whatever I like at the moment, that's what I'm gonna post, and if you like it, cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I definitely want to help you be able to spread the word on your page and stuff.
Thank you.
For your art. That's dope. Do you have anything that you're selling right now as far as art or anything?
At the moment, I mean, you can look on my site anytime if you want to buy something. I do t-shirts. I do custom work.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is everything kind of custom? You don't have anything to just like, oh, you can buy this and I'm just gonna package it up, or you just kind of like, I do more custom, so you gotta order and customize it.
As far as painting, yes, that's more custom. Unless I just came up with an idea and I finish it, I'm like, well, I'm selling this.
Yeah.
Other than that, my t-shirts you can buy at any time. Yeah, it's pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Just that.
Okay. So what does positive living mean to you?
Positive living for me is exactly what you just said. It's positive living. It's more of a lifestyle. Kind of wake up every day and I think it's more of a choice. I think sometimes it's kind of hard to be positive, but I think positivity is kind of, how should I say, you can't do much without it.
Right.
I mean, you can go through your life being negative and upset. It works for some people, but it sucks. I've done it. It sucks.
Right.
It sucks.
When you have really hard days, how do you manage to get yourself out of those?
Kind of just stay to myself. I think everybody has that certain thing that they do. I just kind of stay to myself because I don't like to pass it off on other people.
Okay.
Sometimes I might reach out to other people, but for the most part, I feel like I know how to deal with my bad days.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, yeah, like I said, I just don't like to pass it off on anybody else.
Yeah.
I don't mind if anybody else that's having a bad day to come reach out to me. That's not a problem for me.
Right.
Anybody that knows me, you need to hit me up. And I'm notorious for, well, I ain't gonna say it, but it's another word for this, but I'm not gonna say it because it sounds bad, but they understand. Everybody knows I'm notorious. I'll come pick you up, we take a drive, talk.
Right.
If you need to go somewhere to clear your mind, cool, hit me up.
Yeah. How do you deal with other people's heavy, when people come to you with heavy things, how do you deal with that then? Especially if you stay to yourself, or do you have to talk to other people?
So other people, it depends on the situation, because everything is, some things are intricate, and you have to deal with it a certain way. For me, my problem, I just kind of tell myself, like, yo, it's not that bad.
Right.
Suck it up, you'll be okay. As far as other people, it's kind of, it's a lot different.
Yeah.
So you can't take that kind of approach. With some things you can, but overall, I try not to.
Right.
Because,
So you're a person that has empathy. Empathetic.
yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes that can even be like your greatest gift and your greatest curse.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're kind of taking on that burden, and then it's like, man, that's heavy.
Yeah, did you see that? If there's like a video on Instagram where it was like an empathetic person goes and like hugs all these different people, and it like takes all of their energy.
Just take it all, and you just go home and be like, wow.
Yeah.
That was a day. But
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like sometimes it's worth it, especially given some situations. It's like, I don't want this person to have all of this on them. If I could take some of it right now and I can deal with it, I just have to deal with it.
True. Was that something that was taught to you by your parents, or did you learn? Is that heart something that's like you had to learn how to process and deal with that on your own?
I never thought about that. I think having my parents there, and I grew up in a household of, it was 6 of us.
Okay.
It was 4 kids, my parents. I always had both my parents, so with them always being there and them being parents, of course, anything that happens to us, it's like they have to take it on. So I think with them being there, then also my brother, I have 2 older sisters and a brother. With both my sisters being older than me, whatever happened to me, they kind of took on subconsciously or unwillingly. So I think in a way that was taught. Then also just living life is kind of like, you understand that other people have problems.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might just have to be that person that is going to receive some of it, which is, it happens.
I think it's surprising though sometimes how many people don't realize like other people have problems, and sometimes you should help them and be the one to take on some of that for them if you can. So it's just funny how we have to train our minds to be positive, because like you said, positive living is definitely a choice. 100%. 100%. It's like literally you can wake up and be in a really bad mood, or you can be in a really good mood, and literally both of those are a choice. And sometimes it's like, how do we forget that we're making this choice to be angry all day and to not help people or not take on, I think it's always worth it to be an empathetic person at the end of the day.
Definitely.
Where can people follow you at?
All my social medias, I have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Lexxi Chevonne, L-E, 2 X's, Lexxi.
Do you have anything that you, like a message you want to send, like any quote, anything that is like, that you live by? Especially being like an artist and vlogger, and I mean you like dabble into everything. So you're definitely an entrepreneur, dream chaser, all of those other things. What do you say to somebody that's trying to do it all like that?
I say a lot, but take your time. Take your time with whatever it is that you want to do. Really figure it out. You have time to figure it out what it is that you want to do and how you want to do it. When I first started out, I was kind of like, I gotta figure it out now, and I gotta do everything.
Right.
I mean, I listen to different people. One person, Gary Vaynerchuk. I listen to Les Brown. I listen to Tony Robbins. There's a lot of positive people that I like listening to, and they kind of take your perspective on things. And it's like, especially one thing Gary Vaynerchuk always says, like, if you're under 30, like, you have plenty of time. You're young. I mean, I feel like even at 25, a lot of people are like, well, your life is pretty much over. It's like, no, it's not.
Right.
It's really not. But even at 45, he's 45, I think, and he's like, he even says that he's young.
Right.
I feel like we have, how should I say this? How should I say this? Everything's been written years ago about how we should go about life. As far as getting married early in your 20s, and then building a family throughout your 30s, and then you're kind of like chilling in your 40s, and then you die around 50. It's like, whoa, that's,
right.
that's intense. Like,
right.
You don't have to follow a specific guideline.
Right.
There's really no guideline for life, so it's just kind of figuring out as you go. And even if you mess up in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you still got time to figure it out.
Right.
I remember I met somebody when I was about 21. It was a lady that I was supposed to. She said that her husband lost his job and a bunch of financial problems, and then he was 50, in his 50s, started a business.
Oh yeah, see?
Started a business and profitable ever since.
Yeah.
So you have time.
Yeah.
You have plenty of time to do whatever.
Yeah. And you're taking your time to figure out what you want to do. But it's going to be something in the art. So we've got to follow her because
you
we've got to watch her journey.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exciting. Well, I appreciate you coming and talking to me, and I appreciate you spreading positivity and being an artist and supporting it. You support everybody and everything, and that's
important.
That's what I love. Yeah.
Thank you.
I love that. That supporting other young entrepreneurs and things like that in the city, it's huge because there's a lot of people out there that are selfish, that are for themselves. They don't really want to put anybody else on. And you're like constantly putting other people on and sharing other people's stuff. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's very important. I mean, especially when you look at how you want to be in a few years, and if you don't support the people, you can't expect that same support back. So not only that, but I just feel like it's the right thing to do. And especially if you like something, it's like, if you like it, just share it.
Right.
Why not?
Right.
It might have somebody else, you never
Right.
know.
Exactly. And I love that. I love that love. Like, I don't know. And it makes the people that you share their stuff, it makes them feel good too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because there's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't expect people would share of yours, or, you know, you're not thinking people are watching, and there's always somebody watching, and thinking what you're doing is super live. So,
You gotta throw that positive energy out in the air, and it's always gonna come back.
always.
Always gonna come back. You never
Tenfold.
know.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is that it? Do you have any other things you'd like to let people know?
As far as me, I don't know. I think that might be it.
Okay.
Unless you have anything else, I don't know. Any other questions?
I feel like the only thing we didn't touch on was business class.
Oh, okay. We can go back to that.
Mortar. So I know you went to Mortar for business. That is a business class. Is that Black owned?
It might be. I know the owner is Alan and Derek, but I'm not sure if they have anybody else that's like working with them specifically. But I know between those two, they did start it.
Okay. I know I went to an Oceans program That's more of it's basically the same thing. They give you the outline of starting a business and a business plan. Oceans is just based on like a Christian format, basically, like how to go about business in a Christian way. But man, that was like one of the best classes I've ever been to. It was a 9-week program. It was $900. And then after that, for 6 months, you meet up monthly with your group of people that you went to those classes with. And I would say that that was one of the most beneficial things that I've done in the last couple of years, because I feel like it's stuff that you can take with you forever.
Right.
Is that how they were? Like, did you feel like it was totally worth it?
Yeah. My class was $900. It was a lot cheaper. It's very, very affordable.
Okay.
It's pretty much, I won't compare it. I would say it's kind of like a community class, but I would say more so of a family class.
Okay.
Because that's mostly how it feels when you're there. Even after, like, they have a group on Facebook, and the alumni that graduate, they stay with you. It's not like, oh, we're done. Go figure it out now.
Right.
They stay with you if you have any questions. It's a support system.
How many weeks was it?
11?
Okay.
11 or 12, one or two, but very, very worth it. You learn a lot.
Yeah.
You learn a lot.
Okay. So I know I would recommend Oceans to anybody that can afford that. I guess that was really high. Can afford that, or are looking for like a Christian-based learning when it comes to business, or mortar when it comes to just more family. You guys aren't Christian-based, so you guys don't talk about the Bible or anything like that. Okay.
It's just kind of
So it's just straightforward business.
Yeah, business.
Which is nice too. Both ends are really nice, and both ends you can learn a lot from.
You can learn a lot from anybody.
Yeah.
From a lot of people.
That's
so,
facts. Yes.
Ooh, man, you can learn so much. Never write anybody off.
Right.
Never write anybody off.
Yep. That's big facts. Okay. Well, that's all that we missed.
Okay.
I'm glad we got to talk about that. Okay. Well, that's it for podcast.